Welcome back, everybody. It's your host today, Invest in Success, and today we're going to be talking about Workhorse stock. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investing journey together. So today we're going to be talking about Workhorse stock, and if you guys don't know what Workhorse stock is, it's essentially an EV company that specializes in producing battery-powered vans, specifically delivery vans. And if you guys don't know the surrounding news about Workhorse stock, they're the ones that are currently in talks with USPS over a $6 billion deal to roll out 180,000 vehicles. Workhorse stock has been getting a lot of attention ever since this deal kind of unfolded. Market cap currently sitting at $2.5 billion. Not the biggest of the EV companies, but in my opinion, it's probably the one with the most potential, just because Workhorse stock actually has the vans already made. It's the C650, the C1000. They're two kind of modern delivery vans, and a little bit of schematics about the delivery vans. They get up to 160 mile EV range, and I mean, the deal has been looming for a little bit now, causing the recent drop in Workhorse stock. This thing was pretty close to about $30, but you know, the USPS deal is kind of in the air. No one really even knows like when it's going to go down. But before we get into the details, this thing IPO'd December 11th, 2015. For the 5-year chart, guys, it is up 301%. Looking at the 1-year chart, it is up 539%. I mean, it's a huge growth stock. It's growing like crazy, and I feel like there's a lot of reasons for that. Not only about its USPS deal that's essentially going to save USPS a lot of money. They don't have to do maintenance on their vehicles. They don't have to fill up gas. So I think that's kind of the talks of the whole Workhorse USPS deal. They want to roll out 180,000 vehicles, less maintenance, better on fuel, and just overall, it's just better. Overall as well, the EV market is expanding like crazy. A lot of people are bullish on the EV market. A lot of big time investors in the EV market as well. EV companies always getting analyst upgrades because people know that the EV companies are going to be the future, that these companies are going to offer a lot, and they have a lot to offer overall as far as the technology goes and what they can mass produce with better batteries coming out, better technology. It's going to be an industry that for sure is going to be a huge market in the next 5 to 10 years. As you guys saw with Tesla, did not start off hot at first, but look at Tesla now. It is a huge growth stock and continues to grow more and more every day. But a lot of people are going to ask, why am I making this video? And it's because Workhorse actually is being targeted right now by a short seller. A short seller actually did drop a report today, basically saying that, you know, he thinks that the USPS contract is at risk. And a lot of people are like, well, there's no way. Why, on example, would the short seller say this? I mean, you have to understand too, I'm not bashing the short seller, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm saying a short seller's main intent is to make sure that the stock drops, even if the stuff they are providing is not false or if it's true. But in quote, he says, our competitors call it on-site due diligence. Customer research says, basically familiar with the USPS bid at all points of one fact. If Workhorse somehow won even part of the USPS contract, then they do not have the facilities, equipment, or expertise to fulfill it according to USPS requirements and expectations, reads the report, end quote. So I took that quote directly from what the short seller said, and basically what the short seller is saying is basically if they landed part of the deal, which is the $6 billion, if you guys don't know. The overall deal is evaluated at $20 billion. Workhorse is only getting $6 billion of that. But he's basically saying that, you know, even if Workhorse landed the deal, they don't have the equipment, they don't have the facility, they don't have what it takes to hold their end to the bargain of the USPS deal. It didn't really have much of an effect on Workhorse stock because Workhorse stock is actually backed by a lot more investors. It's got the vehicles ready to made. It's not like Nikola Motors. Nikola Motors was basically being called a fraud company straight out the gate. A lot of people were thinking that Nikola Motors is a fraud. So when people came out and said, oh, Nikola Motors is a fraud company, I mean, they didn't even have any vehicles made. They haven't sold anything in their life. So I could understand why it led the stock to tank. Workhorse today only down 2.38%. They just kind of shrugged it off and they're like, hey, you know what, short seller, we don't really care. We're just going to continue doing business and we're going to continue doing our thing. But this is important because, you know, you have to understand that a lot of people are starting to get skeptical whether this deal is going to go through or not. You know, no one's really heard anything. A lot of people are getting scared whether the USPS deal is going to go through. Me personally, I think Workhorse stock is a buy. I think people should buy the dip, and I think the deal is going to go through. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but there's so much writing on this deal. It's a great deal. And not only that, Workhorse has the vehicles. They have everything it needs to satisfy USPS as far as the deal goes. There's no other people actually writing on the deal in itself. As far as being able to offer the types of vehicles they're going to be able to offer, But you know, the short seller basically came out and said the USPS report, the chance of them winning the USPS contract is virtually zero. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. Obviously, everything I say is my personal opinion, but I think Workhorse stock is going to land the USPS deal. But it's leading people to get scared because, like I said, you know, a lot of people are saying, like, where's the deal? You know, they haven't heard much news on it. Things have been quiet. And me, personally, you have to understand that a big deal like this does take time to work out the kinks. You got to make sure everything is perfect, but it's also leading other people to be scared. It's leading other people to basically say, like, oh, what if the deal's not going to go through? And taking a look at the 3-month chart, I mean, the overall growth of the company is there. And even if Workhorse stock didn't land the USPS deal, I know Workhorse stock is still going to be a great stock. I still think it's going to be a great company. Like I said, if USPS doesn't want it, there's going to be demand for it somewhere else. Like I said, the EV market is expanding like crazy. More than people can catch up, and it's starting to mature. I know that there's going to be a place for Workhorse stock. Whether or not they land a deal, I think people should buy the dip on Workhorse stock. That's all I really have to say about the video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of Workhorse stock. Do you think Workhorse stock is going to get the deal? Do you think Workhorse stock misled investors, as the short seller report is stating? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.